This podcast may contain adult themes and strong language. Hello and welcome to episode 78 of Marbella with him and her. He is
PJ Lopez and she is
Hannah Murray.
There's already been some sweary Mary stuff, hasn't there?
Yes, there literally have. We've had a bit of a microphone situation.
Would you say you were a little bit heavy-handed?
I'd say I was a little bit peed off.
Are you still peed off?
A little bit.
So Hannah went to press the mute button and it disappeared inside the microphone.
It literally went inside its own hole.
So I had to YouTube how to open a Yeti microphone, so I undid the screws. I was like, why won't this open? So I had to look up on YouTube. There's a secret screw behind a rubber thing.
You've got to love a secret screw.
Why do you need a secret screw? Because obviously if you want to get in there, you want to get in there. I don't think somebody's going to sneak up and undo it just because they can see the extra screw.
We've been watching too much Jeffrey Dahmer. Everything sounds really rude, what you're saying. We're well late to the party with Monster, the Jeffrey Dahmer story, which is based on the true story of one of the most frightening serial killer stories I've ever seen, to be honest. Jeffrey Dahmer in America in the 80s.
He wasn't just a serial killer, he ate some of his victims.
Yeah, really
bad.
sick.
You started feeling sorry for him.
I did at one point because he's never had a friend. He's had terrible parenting. His dad tried his best, but, he asked him some questions about sex and girls and things like that, but Jeffrey didn't want to talk about it, so he left it there. His mum was a nightmare, so he didn't have parenting. He didn't have any friends throughout his whole life, didn't have any relationships. He had no guidance or friendship or support from anyone.
There's a lot of people that are in that situation and they don't turn to killing people and eating them.
No, for sure. I'd absolutely accept that. And I'm certainly not justifying his behaviour at all. He was sick.
He had an obsession from when he was really young where he liked to dissect roadkill.
Yeah.
His dad taught him how to do that because he thought he had an interest in it and thought he might go on to be a surgeon.
Exactly.
As opposed to a serial killer.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, a lot of what people find fascinating about psychology and particularly forensic psychology is trying to get into the mind of a serial killer. The whole thing isn't black and white. It's not that you have good people and you have evil people, although sometimes there are evil people in the world, as we know, but normally it comes from somewhere, and it's really fascinating learning about his backstory. And obviously it doesn't justify his behaviour. He tore people's lives and families apart by killing them. I mean, it's horrendous.
Well, I think that's the bit, is that he just did it because he got off on it, basically.
Yeah, you
that's
can
why
see it's a compulsion.
But he didn't care about where they came from, who's left behind, what situation they were in. As long as he got his high from killing them, then he was okay. And that's the dangerous mind.
Well, I think realistically, most, if not all, serial killers don't care about where the person comes from and their background. It's all about that.
And interestingly, a lot of them keep what they call trophies, don't they? So a piece of the body, in this case, someone's head, in a drawer. But yeah, very strange. If you haven't seen it, I'm not sure if I want to recommend it.
No, you need to be in the right mind. I've boycotted it for years because a lot of people said it's really quite sick and dark, and that didn't really appeal to me. But we were stuck the other day with nothing to watch, so we thought we'd give it a go.
Serial killers now, aren't you?
Wow, I mean, it's quite all-consuming,
Well, we watched the Manson thing recently, so that was, I think that sets you on the road to serial killer.
Yes. Oh, dear.
As long as it stops there. I don't want to wake up one day and find I've got no feet.
Oh, stop it. Well, after we watched that first episode, I was so disturbed and I couldn't concentrate brushing my teeth because I thought you were going to come around the corner and scare the crap out. No, just scare the crap out. Because you did. You went against the shower door and made me shit myself.
But at least you're in the right place.
Thanks, yeah. So we've been away. That's why we sort of didn't want, when we recorded the podcast last week, we were in a bedroom in a house, not our own, and we didn't want to kind of advertise the fact that we were away for a week. So that's why we kept it short and hopefully a little bit sweet.
But we are back now, and we're going to do a normal podcast and tell you where we've been and what we've been doing.
Yeah, so it's not very Marbella-y this week. We do apologise, but we will reference Marbella as much as we can.
Well, yeah, because we like to, when we go away, compare things to Marbella.
Yeah, and let's be honest, nothing and nowhere really compares.
Well, I love the fact, I mean, we haven't even got into we've been away yet, but coming home. You love to come home. You get excited about coming home.
Well, what a beautiful place we live in, not just our actual home, but Marbella and Malaga, the Costa del Sol. As soon as you drive past Malaga airport area, that whole journey, that whole road is just glorious, surrounded by mountains and, you know, where we went. So we went to quite a few different places, kind of Almeria, Murcia, Costa Blanca, all that kind of area. And Almeria particularly, and Murcia, to be honest, is really flat, isn't it? It's one of the big things we noticed, and we do every time we go there. It's flat for miles and miles and miles.
You can't even see any mountains for a long way.
It's a very strange landscape.
I love the Costa del Sol because we have that from a feng shui. Feng shui, is that how you say it?
Feng shui.
That would be a better way of saying it, I reckon. Mm-hmm. From that point of view, we are in the perfect place because we have a backdrop of mountains and the sea in front of you. And
Look at you with your feng shui.
Yeah, it's all
feng shui.
I worked in a company once, and it was Orange, the phone company, and it was owned by a Japanese guy. They had elephants coming in the door, mainly because...
Actual elephants?
No. There's a thing is about...
in Croydon?
And a big... No, this wasn't in Croydon. They were based in Bristol or something.
Oh, okay, where the elephants roam free.
But no, there was a big... Will you shut up?
Sorry.
I'm trying to talk. There was a big aerial. And he was convinced that that was a serpent. And if it ever turned towards, it never turned towards because it's a structure. But if it ever turned towards a building, that's a really bad sign. So the elephants were there to stop that happening.
And did it work?
Well, yeah, because it was never going to move anyway. It was a big metal structure.
But did he believe it was because of his elephants?
Oh, he went bankrupt.
Okay. Shame. So we drove to Villamartin, which is Orihuela Costa, and that's where your sister lives. And we were driving there to cat sit, meanwhile getting other people to cat sit our cats.
Didn't think it through that well, did we?
No, we didn't.
We were recent cat parents then, weren't we?
Yeah, it was arranged quite a long time ago. And everything changed last minute because your nephew, Daniel, he's started a job as a school teacher, and they basically said at the last minute, you can't take this week off now, we need you to come in.
Yeah, so he did tell them, obviously, when he got the job, that he had a holiday booked, and they were okay with that because sometimes when you start work, you do have holidays booked. Mm-hmm. And it wasn't actually the term time for the children starting, but I think teachers go in a week or two before to get things prepped and everything. So it was during that time, and someone left, and he had to teach a new teacher the ropes, basically. So they said, sorry, you're going to have to cancel your holiday. So
our cat feeding duties were less needed.
Yeah, so we did still go. And it was lovely because we went out with him and we got to know his new girlfriend.
Sophie, yes. Very nice she was.
We had a lovely evening out with them.
Yeah.
We cooked them lots of food.
We did.
And then we left them.
You left them with a fridge full of food. No, it was nice. It was really nice. We'd already booked a place in Murcia in the city because when we went up last year, we really liked it and we were walking around and we realised we were in a place called San Pedro, which was very exciting in Murcia.
So we said we must come back and spend a night in San Pedro.
Yeah. So we did, and it was great. It was really nice to see.
It's a nice city. I like the city.
Before we got to Murcia, I have to mention, on the way, we were desperately looking for somewhere to stop for lunch, and we decided not to do a roadside place and kind of take a turning off and go into a nearby village. We ended up in a place called Barza. That's with a B, not a G. And obviously it's, as we were saying it sounded like Gaza. So it was kind of strange, obviously, with all the horrendous stuff in the news. So we were sort of laughing at ourselves randomly being in a place called Barza, which was in the middle of nowhere. And then suddenly we saw these guys, presumably on a stag do, that were wearing tutus with big penises coming out of their heads.
That's a normal night out in Porto-Banús, that.
Well, quite, yes, but I'm sure they don't see it in rural Spain that often. And we have a knack of finding the most expensive restaurants wherever we go, by chance.
Yeah, I think it's more you than me, because I think I was saying, oh, look, there's a pizza place over there. Oh, look, that. And you're like, this place looks nice. And of course it did, because it was the most expensive restaurant in Barza.
Yeah, I'm not quite sure how we managed it.
Some strange food, wasn't it? I mean, I'm not sure if I liked it or not.
We did like the stuff in the avocado, this avocado bowl. It was really nice. It was avocado and tuna, and it was a sort of different take on a Russian salad type thing.
Not so keen on the fishy thing they gave us. It was like jellied fish.
Yeah, it wasn't nice.
I think I'd be sick if I had jellied eels.
Oh, don't. We have a nice little routine of having a coffee and a croissant most mornings, don't we, when we're away?
Which we must get out of now.
Yes, definitely. Only while we're away. Or when we go away.
But it's difficult to beat the croissant at the end of the road in San Pedro.
That's €1.
It's €1. So we even this time, we stopped there, got the croissant, and we got a cold coffee, those ones in the packs, which probably aren't very good for you as well because they're packed with sugar as well. But we had that as our starting breakfast.
Yes, we like to do that. And when we were in Murcia, going back to Murcia and San Pedro, we decided to go for a tapas crawl because that's what we do for lunch. And the first place we came across that looked really nice was called La Tapa. And we thought, well, that's a good place to start. And again, it was stunning, wasn't it? I'm totally in love with artichokes. I keep having artichokes recently.
But it was stylish. It was well laid out. It had really good menu, really different types of food. Great choice, that one. If you're ever in Murcia and you're looking for somewhere to have tapas, then La Tapa.
Yes, in San Pedro area. And we found a fabulous Japanese restaurant. The name escapes me, but we'll tag it. And had some gorgeous food, had some ceviche, and also had a big selection of sushi, because when you were ordering sushi, you could have, this is the uramaki, the rolls, you could have either 4 or 8 of
Which is unusual, isn't it?
Really unusual. Normally it's always 8 or even 10. But yeah, 4 or 8. So we had 4. So we tried lots of different ones.
And they had really funky decor in there as well. It looked like a London restaurant.
It really did.
The only problem is, and here's the first moan of the podcast.
Okay.
These bloody menus where you've still got to take your phone
the QR code.
The QR.
Yes.
So he said, okay, there's your menu. So well, that's fine. The QR code worked on the menu. And I said, have you got a wine menu, please? Yeah, this is the QR code for that.
Separate QR code.
Didn't work.
No.
And he came over. He said, no, is it the Wi-Fi? No, I can do everything else on my phone apart from that. The website was down, which meant we had no wine menu.
And we were like, so you haven't got it written down anywhere?
They had no backup.
And he didn't really come up with a solution, did he?
Other than take me into the wine cellar and ask me to choose one. So I'm having to go, how much is this one? How much is this one? How much is this one?
Yeah. We did find a nice wine in the end, so well done.
Well, yes.
We also went on a boat. Linda, who is one of the presenters on Good Morning Spain, she's been away for quite a while. She does all wellness and health things. Very, very knowledgeable. She's also an incredible cook and does loads of different things on a boat. She's the cook, she was the deckhand, she was the cleaner, she was a stew. Really quite impressive.
She was basically bosun, first stew, deckhand and cook.
Yes, amazing. And she has been away on a boat that is owned by a couple from Sota Grande on the Costa del Sol, and it was a private charter, so she's been on it for a while. And basically, they broke down and ended up in Torrevieja port, which was literally 10 minutes away from where we were staying. So I said, let's go and visit her. Let's go and say hello. So we did. That was really nice having a catch-up. She gave us a tour of the boat.
Nice, wasn't it?
It was really nice. We'd made a little message for Nicole because it's 100 episodes of Good Morning Spain this week, so we sent a little greeting.
And I just want to say, how knowledgeable were we about boats?
Well, yeah, we thought we were. I mean, we're obsessed with below deck and all the different below deck Mediterranean, below deck Australia, all
below
of them.
Deck sailing yacht, below deck, which is the original
exactly
one.
We love them all. So we mentioned that to Linda, and she was very like, it's nothing.
Well, all
like
of them,
this.
all the crew were like, that's not real life on a boat.
No.
And then she started to tell us what's been going on.
And then she started telling us the stories of how the crew like different things to eat, and how one of the deck hands was fired because they weren't pulling their weight, and all the different stories she was telling us. We were like, yes, like what happens on below deck.
It's so like below deck. But I love it because when we were talking about it, I said, did you have to throw the line out here and at the front, and did you have your...
put your fenders out?
Did you put your fenders out? It's like we knew what we were talking about.
We did. We absolutely did. I've really enjoyed reading this week. I have to say, one of the really nice parts of being away and being relaxed is having the time to read and also play games. We've been playing backgammon and Phase 10 and Uno And I've been reading lots of books and it's been so nice.
Yeah, you've just read the new one by Vogue, haven't you?
Yes, I read her kind of memoir. She said it's not an autobiography, it's a collection of stories. It's called Big Mouth. And I really enjoyed it. I got through it incredibly quickly. And, you know, she's full of really entertaining, funny, embarrassing stories about her life. And she talks about her kids and obviously her relationship with Spencer, the relationship with her parents and her stepdad. And yeah, really, really fascinating. I found it really interesting, really good read.
And I watched you read.
You did? Is that just as relaxing as reading itself?
No.
Okay. And I'm also totally into Frida McFadden. I might stop after this one because I'm getting a bit much. I think I'm on book 7 or 8 of hers. Never Lie I'm on at the moment.
Why don't you download a good old serial killer book?
Oh, don't. Not what After Dharma.
I have read one.
Yeah?
It was the story about Shipley. The guy that, not Shipley.
Shipman, Harold Shipman.
No, it wasn't. It was a guy, he used to get gay people back to his house and murder them and hid them under the floorboards.
Nice. Sounds like a great bedtime read.
It was a good book.
Oh, I don't know. It's a bit much. We also did a kind of morning trip to Cartagena, which is a beautiful city. And I remember it's one we talked about on the podcast because there was an article saying the most beautiful city and best place to live in Spain was Cartagena. So I thought, wow, when we do our next trip to the Costa Blanca, we need to see it. And it was really stunning, wasn't it?
Beautiful place, like quite elaborate buildings is the way I'm going to describe it. All very clean and all very well painted, I would say.
Well, apart from the art and graffiti.
But even that was good. I got
it was.
Wings behind you.
But I'm really interested to know the difference between art and graffiti. Is graffiti just like the tags and things that are just crappy writing?
Well,
and then art becomes actual pictures?
Yeah, I don't know where it all started. I think graffiti started as being quite artistic. You know, when you look at it, when you're watching Grease and things like that, you know, it's all quite artistic writing and stuff. But people that just write their name and spray paint, it's not really art, is it?
No, definitely not.
It's just vandalism.
Yeah, absolutely. So there was some beautiful art on the walls then. And we had a couple of nights in a place called Agua Dulce, which means sweet water. And it was pretty sweet.
Yeah, it's funny, isn't it? As I said, we always, at the beginning of the podcast, I said we always like to compare to Marbella, and we compared it to, well, when I booked it, I said, this is like Puerto Banús. And then when we got there, it was more like Duquesa.
Yeah, a little bit more like Duquesa, yeah.
And I don't mean that anything against Duquesa.
No, nothing against Duquesa, just slightly different vibe.
Yeah, it wasn't very upmarket in terms of the restaurants and things, very English and American.
There were hardly any restaurants, it was all bars, wasn't it?
Yeah, it was like American bars, and there was like a Hollywood bar, wasn't there, or restaurant? Then there was an American diner, and I mean, it's all that type of thing.
Which isn't really our kind of thing. We were there 2 nights, and there was one sort of half-decent restaurant in the port area, which we found and went to on the first night, which was Italian, which was nice. And then on the second day, in the morning, you went for a walk to try and find somewhere for breakfast where we could go and get our croissant and coffee. And there was nowhere in the port for breakfast, was there? It's really weird.
But I couldn't see any croissants.
No, it kind of came alive at night, and during the day it was really dead.
Yeah.
So you kept walking and still didn't find anywhere for breakfast, but you did find a nice Argentinian restaurant that we earmarked for dinner that night. So the one day that we were planning not to drive in the whole week, we ended up having to drive to find somewhere to go for breakfast.
There was 2 reasons for that. One, because we couldn't find anywhere for breakfast, and the other one is that you suddenly decided you want to play lots of pool.
Yeah, I was all right, wasn't I?
You didn't tell me this before we got married, that you're a bit of a hustler.
Well, I'm sure we've played before and I've been a bit crap.
Yeah, I was quite confident of just whipping your ass, and that didn't really work.
I know. I'm sort of, sometimes I'm crap, sometimes I'm good. So I never like to say I'm good.
This was one of your good phases.
It really was. Like 4 or 5 in a row I was popping.
So you need change for that, because obviously you have to pay €1. There are no cash points in the port that we were staying at all. And the pubs wouldn't give you cash. So we had to drive in to get cash and breakfast.
Yeah, there was one place we went to that you could pay by card, but it was minimum spend of €10.
Yeah, and that again was really weird, because around a drink, so we only wanted to... we were
drinking beer at this stage.
Yeah, and we were popping into different bars just to see what was going on. So we said, can we just have a couple of drinks? And I went to pay, and she said it's minimum of €10.
And it was like €7.50 or something.
It was €7 for the 2 beers. It's like, and that meant then that you have to, if you're paying by card, which most people do these days, means that if there's just 2 of you, or one of you even worse, you've got to have X amount of drinks just to cover the bill, or pay them €10
And
just
don't
for the
get your
sake
change.
So I tried one night, I said, it came to €9. I said, if I give you €10, because it's a minimum of €10, can you give me €1 in change so we can play pool? And she said no. So it's like, you just want to keep the extra euro for nothing. It's yours, because I haven't got the change.
Them's the rules. So yeah,
Silly
we had to
rules.
go and get money out and also search for somewhere for breakfast. And we managed to find 2 in the same place with a parking space outside. But it was a churros place, and we don't mind the odd churro. It's a bit of a treat, although when you're on holiday, it seems like it's treat after treat after treat. And got the biggest pile of churros, and we were like, oh, God. Yes. So we didn't have lunch that day.
Didn't need lunch that day.
That was more than enough. We were very excited that we saw an Irish pub in the port called the Temple Bar, and we were gutted because the first night it was closed. It never opened. It
said karaoke zone.
It said karaoke. It had pool. It said pool table, darts, and obviously pictures of Guinness everywhere. And it looked like the Temple Bar. It was red wood and looked really authentic. And we were so excited, so gutted that it was shut. So on the next night, we couldn't believe it when it was open. So we were like, oh, to go in the Irish pub. He took a little video of me walking in. As we were walking in, I was thinking, this music is quite shocking. It was really loud.
It was
Spanish
beyond
rock
loud.
music.
I mean, it was on full volume with one girl working there, and we were having to basically sign to her.
We literally, as we got in in order for her to turn around. We walked in, there was nobody in there at all. I asked her where the pool table was, and she looked at me weirdly and said, there isn't one. And I was like, oh, and darts board? There isn't one. And I was like, but it says outside. No. And she just shrugged. You said, have you got Guinness on tap? No. Have you got cans of Guinness? No.
It's the worst Irish pub in the world.
I mean, literally. So you had a Heineken, I had a gin and tonic. We sat next to a poster, a Guinness advertiser poster, sat there going, well, this is a bit crap.
And we left.
So we left, we could barely hear ourselves.
We wanted to pay the bill, and she still had the music phone.
Yeah, we frightened her.
Quenza! And she jumped out of her skin.
Yeah, very strange experience. We did have a lovely second day there, though, really relaxing. We spent some time by the pool in the hotel, and we had a spa experience. I was well impressed by the price. Sometimes when you go to these nice hotels or anywhere, to be honest, to have a spa, it can be really expensive, especially if you want a massage and things like that. I had a spa circuit, a half an hour massage, a 15-minute mini facial, and that was €80 for all those 3, which is really good.
I had a spa circuit for 90 minutes. So I was playing on my own for ages because there was no one else in there. I was taking videos of myself getting in and out. In fact, I was doing
You were one of those people.
Yeah, I was doing a video of me getting into the jacuzzi, and I missed a step and fell in.
That serves you right, you poser.
I haven't put that up.
No, I wonder why. And you also had a massage.
I did, and I can't believe that they do happy endings as normal.
Oh, stop it.
No, they didn't. No happy ending. Well, it was a happy massage. I liked the massage.
Okay, steady.
I was hoping she was going to do my buttock because it was still a little bit sore from the...
Well, she didn't do my buttocks, so I'm glad she didn't do yours. Otherwise, that would have been special treatment.
Well,
how did you feel about her touching your feet?
It was a sport... Hang on, we'll get back to that. It was a sports injury. Mm-hmm. So it would have felt weird if I said, look, I've hurt my butt, because it would have been like I'm leading up to her to touch my...
Yeah, I'm glad you didn't ask her to touch your bottom.
Yes.
How did you feel about her touching your feet?
I actually quite enjoyed that.
You see, last week you were saying you hated that.
No, she had a nice touch.
I'm still not going to do it.
No, you wanted me to do yours the other night, and it's like, no, get them away from me.
I really did. Interestingly, we had free parking. Both hotels we went to. Both hotels you had to pay for parking, which is pretty normal, like €20 a night type thing.
Neither of them had their own parking, so they were nearby car parks. So in Murcia, it's going to be €23 for overnight parking.
Yeah. Basically,
it's 24-hour parking. And the other one, they'd already sent me things saying if you want parking, it's €15 per day. You need to let them know, and then I don't know why you need to let them know, but that's how much. So those two together, that's €53 extra that we would have paid. So when we got to each of the venues, we just had to drive around and found free parking.
Yeah, really
very
wasn't
close
difficult.
to the hotel.
Yeah, it's always worth looking. And another thing we've got is the L parking, which means when you go through a toll booth, you go to the telepaje bit with the big T, Mr. T.
Mr. T.
And you just drive through and it goes beep and then lets you through. So you pity the fool. So you don't have to pay with coins and queue up. So that's really handy.
Yeah, I always get nervous that it's not going to open, but it has opened every time.
It really has. And when we got home, we weren't really knackered. I was really surprised. Normally when we get home from a trip, we're absolutely knackered and we go to bed and chill for the whole day. But I had loads of energy. I went to Mercadona. I put 2 loads of washing on, emptied all the it was really great.
You were full of energy.
I like it.
Yeah. And as you said earlier in the podcast, that we don't have those holiday blues.
No.
And I do remember having them when I used to go when I lived in the UK rather. I hated coming back from holiday because you knew you were getting back to that normal life and routine, whereas we love our life
and routine. Absolutely. We're very lucky. We had a fabulous evening on Friday celebrating Maeve's birthday in the Hogan stand. We went for one drink and got home at about midnight.
We did, yes, and a little bit worse for wear.
Yes, which was a little bit silly because I had a massive day yesterday, but I was fine. What's the word?
You soldiered through.
I soldiered through. So Saturday, there was an epic hen party at Cova Beach for Lena. She's Mummy Marbella, that's kind of her nickname. She's worked for the Linekers Group for over 20 years and is famous for organising thousands of hen and stag parties.
And her name, Mummy Marbella, came from the reality TV show that she was in.
Life on Marbs.
Life on Marbs, yeah.
Life in Marbs or on Marbs? In Marbs. Must be Life in Marbs. Yeah, so there was about 30 odd women. We were all asked to wear black and she wore white. So everybody looked amazing. It was such a great day. The weather wasn't great, but that was kind of nice for us who lived here. We were like, oh, what a relief. And we did lots of dancing. Wayne Lineker was there. I went to chat to him because I've interviewed him a few times. So it's nice to go and say hello. Food's really good there. Love those beef tacos like we had last time. Really nice. So yeah, a great day was had.
Good. I'm glad you enjoyed yourself.
And I've even been for brunch today with Nikki. Surprise weekend. She was here. So we went to Brunch Cafe in San Pedro and had a delicious brunch and catch up. So that was nice.
Brunch Cafe?
Isn't it called the Brunch Daily Cafe?
Where's that?
Closest to our house, just around the corner here.
Oh, here. Okay. I thought you were going somewhere else.
It was closed.
I thought it might be.
Couple of news items we wanted to mention quickly. It was very sad to see the passing of fashion designer icon Giorgio Armani at 91 years old.
I mean, what a good old age. But wow, I mean, that is huge because out of all of the, I think, fashion houses, the first one you think of is Giorgio Armani. You think of Versace, obviously, and Louis Vuitton and things like that. But yeah, that's huge. That's a real loss to the fashion industry. I don't know how much he was involved in it these days, but it's a huge thing. And, how many of those original ones are left? This is the era of Gucci and all those people.
Yeah, Ralph Lauren's still going.
Is he?
I think so. Oh, God.
Have you just brought someone back to life or killed him off?
You just killed him off. No, I'm pretty sure he's around.
But I wouldn't say he's one of the original. Yves Saint Laurent was one of the originals and he's not around.
No, or Coco Chanel.
Yeah, exactly. So, and I think Giorgio Armani was not long after all of those sort of eras. So I think like Ralph Lauren, much later.
Okay, sorry. Don't know my fashion as much as you. It was very sad also to read about the vernacular tram crash in Lisbon. Was it 15 deaths in the end?
It might be more than that now. It was horrendous. Children involved in the deaths as well. I mean, the programme we watch, which is...
Somebody Feed Phil.
Somebody Feed Phil. He went there and he got on the tram and was showing it. And the
as we would when we go.
Exactly. The streets are so steep, like really, really steep. And we got a perspective of that when we were on our cruise. So we went on a post-COVID cruise, which meant that we didn't get off the boat, basically, but it was nice to get away. And one of the stops was Lisbon, and we could see how steep all of those streets were.
And it's awful. I said to you as soon as we read it, see, you read a story like that and we, Lisbon is high on our list for a city break. And when we go, we would absolutely want to do the vernacular tram. But then you read a story like that and it's so easy to think, I don't know, it's obviously a bit dangerous. But yet it's been running every day for goodness knows how many years. There's obviously loads of people who are afraid of flying, and touch wood, the likelihood of you being involved in a plane crash is highly, highly statistically unlikely. The most dangerous form of transport is being in a car or even walking, being on a bicycle. And we do those things, certainly being in a car and walking, every day. It's just these things, because they're in the news, you think, oh my God, that's so tragic. But yet the sad reality is people die in car crashes all the time.
Yeah, I do remember in Croydon, so not when I was living there, it was long after I think I left, but they've got a tram in Croydon and there was a horrendous tram crash in Croydon. And that was down to, I think, driver error or something. I mean, the trial went on for ages and they were trying to pin it on the driver. I can't even remember who was to blame, but there was a lot of people killed in that as well. So it does happen. I mean, as you said, this has been going for years and years. I don't think they've released actually what happened yet. I believe it was something to do with a cable or whatever. But I mean, these streets are steep. So I would imagine now, I think they've taken them all off of the street. They're checking them all over. So they'll probably be the safest mode of transport in Portugal now.
Yeah. A few articles from the Star in English. There was an article about the broccoli cut, a trending hairstyle amongst young people in Spain. It's basically like a perm, and it's what teenage boys are having. And Henry's kind of been going for that look, really growing your hair on the front.
Yeah, but his is at the front.
So you're really curly at the front. That's what the look is, the broccoli cut. Yeah.
Okay.
They showed a picture of Jeremiah, who is in The Summer I Turned Pretty, and that's his look. He's got really curly hair, but quite a lot of it up the front.
So I can guarantee when Henry and this guy that you're talking about are 20 to 30 years older, they're going to look back and think, I cannot believe I had that haircut. Pretty much like people that had perms do now.
Well, quite, yes. And the mullet.
And the mullet.
Yeah. So you're not tempted then?
I'm not a 14-year-old boy.
That's a good point. The Comic Con Malaga is coming up. Comic Con is a big thing in America, and they've started bringing it to other places, and this is the first time it's coming to Spain. And it's, for people who love comics, basically. And it's obviously a massive industry, comics and gamings, and everybody gets together in the Palacio de Congresos, celebrate, loads of people dress up as superheroes and stuff like that. It's quite a big deal. It's coming up in September. It's the 25th to the 28th of September, and Arnold Schwarzenegger is the star guest.
Fuck you, asshole. I will be back.
Bit extreme.
That's my Terminator impression.
Is it?
Hey, buddy, have you got a dead cat in there or what?
Have you got a what?
Dead cat in there or what? So the whole line is, hey, buddy, have you got a dead cat in there or what? Fuck you, asshole. That's his response.
Okay. So if they're doing like a Terminator 4,
I could be in it. I could do the voice.
You could. Moving on to another piece about a Good Samaritan who returned a wallet containing €900 of an elderly man's pension. He lost it in Malaga. He wasn't even aware that he lost it, and a shop assistant found it and tracked him down and took it to his home. Isn't that lovely?
Faith in humanity.
Exactly. That's so nice. And it's an interesting sort of dilemma to talk about, what the moral aspect of what you would do if you found money, and whether it would make a difference how much money you found, where you found it, and whether there was any ID attached to it, so it would be possible to track the person.
So if there's ID in anything that I found, I would 100% return it to the person.
Whether it was a $5 or a grand?
It doesn't matter, because there's other stuff in the wallet as well. So without a shadow of doubt, that's what I would do. If there was no ID in the wallet and a couple of €100 in there, would I take it to the police station? I'm not 100% sure I would, because I'm not 100% sure that the police would actually...
Well, definitely, if there's no way of tracking the person.
But they could turn up at the police station looking for it, and if they were proper police. So yeah, it is a bit of a dilemma. It is a difficult.
And also how much money. You know, there was a story years ago. I'm not sure whether there was a story or whether this was just a story in my own head that we deliberated. But if you found like a suitcase of like 30 grand in it,
I would walk away from it immediately because that's quite clearly drugs money.
Okay, good answer.
It's not. Do you keep 30 grand in a suitcase?
No.
So I would, walk away from that because you could be hunted down for a long time by drug barons, and that wouldn't be a nice life.
That's a great answer. Yes, I'm proud of you.
Thank you.
You're all right, despite what they say.
Have you looked under the bed in that suitcase?
Oh, stop it.
There's a head, a foot.
Oh, stop it. And yeah, I'm so looking forward to the next episode. We better leave it there. Yes. It is goodbye from him.
And it's goodbye from her.